If you've ever dismissed a good morning text as nothing more than a daily ritual, you may be overlooking one of the most powerful yet underrated ways to build emotional connection. That small message can either ignite a spark that lingers in his thoughts all day, or, alternatively, fade you into the background like white noise. It's like tossing a coin land on heads, and you're the first thing he thinks of when he wakes up. Land on tails, and you're just another forgettable blip in his routine. But what if you stopped leaving it to chance? Imagine if every message you sent was crafted to reach beyond the surface, to stir emotion, provoke curiosity, and make you the one thought he can't shake, even before he fully opens his eyes. Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychologist, believed words were more than just letters strung together. They're symbols that can unlock the unconscious. Once you understand this, your texts become more than casual greetings. They become emotional cues that shape how he sees you. The reality is, many women fall into a routine. They send the same well-meaning but bland messages, something like, "Good morning, hope you had a good sleep, have a great day." Polite? Yes. Memorable? Not at all. These types of messages don't engage him emotionally. They don't stir anything inside. There's no curiosity, no warmth, no emotional resonance. They simply float by unnoticed. The key isn't just in your choice of words, it's in the emotional impact they carry. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens that shapes us, but how we interpret it." Jung would have agreed. The true strength of a message lies not in the content, but in the reaction it sparks. That's why today, I want to share with you 7 powerful good morning messages. These aren't just simple greetings, they're designed to connect with him on a deeper level, awaken intrigue, and subtly plant a thought in his mind that stays long after the notification disappears. If you've ever sent a message with your heart full of anticipation only to be met with radio silence, you know how frustrating that can be. But before you point fingers, take a moment to reflect. The issue might not be him. It could be the message itself. Messages that feel generic are emotional cul-de-sacs. Think of it this way. If someone you didn't know walked up and casually said, "Hi, how's it going?" would it really stick with you? Probably not. There's no intrigue, no personality, nothing unique or emotionally engaging. Even worse are messages that come across as overly eager or needy. You've seen the kind, "Good morning, handsome. Hope today's amazing. I really miss you. Sorry if I'm bothering you, I just wanted to check in." Though it might seem caring, what it often communicates is, "I'm giving you my energy and attention, even though you haven't really earned it." Instead of drawing him closer, that energy can unintentionally drive him away. Jung once pointed out that we unconsciously project our inner needs onto others. Without realizing it, we can actually push people away while trying to draw them closer. When your energy says, "I'm here, just waiting on you," it removes all intrigue, all emotional tension. There's no challenge, everything's already on the table. Marcus Aurelius said a person's worth lies in what they offer to others. The same goes for your messages. If they don't bring emotional depth or spark, they're forgotten as quickly as they're read. So, how do you craft a message that makes him pause, feel something, and think about you all day? There's a simple formula. Stir emotion. Curiosity with a line like, "You won't believe the dream I had about you last night." Playfulness with, "Something so ridiculous reminded me of you yesterday, I'm still cracking up." Intrigue with, "Something amazing made me think of you this morning, and you won't guess what it was." You're not alone in this, I've got you. I'll share 7 messages designed to cut through his routine and leave him unknowingly anticipating the next one. Let's start with the first, the mystery message. When you reveal everything too soon, you lose your edge. Ever sent a message hoping for a big reaction, only to get a weak lull or no real engagement? That's often because you laid it all out like a movie trailer that spoils the ending. Jung believed that the unconscious is captivated by what remains unsaid, the parts left in shadow. Mystery fuels the mind, and wherever imagination goes, desire follows. That's where your edge lies. The mystery message is like leaving the door slightly ajar. He'll be tempted to peek through. Try something like, "Morning, you won't believe what I dreamt about you last night." Why is this so effective? Because it activates a natural mental reflex. Our brains are wired to dislike incomplete stories. When something's left vague, we instinctively try to fill in the blanks. Jung called this the pull of archetypes and symbols. What we can't fully see or understand becomes more intriguing. That's what pulls him in. He'll start wondering, what kind of dream was it? Was it flirty, weird, intense? And before you know it, you're already on his mind. Now here's the golden rule. Don't answer right away when he asks. Let his mind wander. Keep the suspense alive. Later, say something like, "It's way too interesting to describe in a message. Want to guess what it was?" That small touch of mystery creates an emotional imprint he won't easily forget. Because in the end, it's not always the words that stick, it's how you made him feel. Now let's talk about the second message, the one that reaches his heart. If you don't engage his emotions, you risk becoming just another name in his inbox. Have you ever spoken with a man where everything felt surface level, like the words just floated without ever truly landing? Jung once observed that suppressed emotions don't vanish, they simply retreat and later resurface in unexpected ways. In romantic connection, emotions are the invisible thread that keeps the bond alive. And one simple message can spark that flame. Good morning. I hope your day brings you great success. What's your biggest dream right now? This kind of message breaks through the ordinary. You're offering him something real and opening to be vulnerable. Because deep down, we all crave to be seen and valued. And if you're the one who creates that emotional space, he won't forget you. Here's the important part. When he shares his dream, don't interrupt, minimize, or try to rush it. Listen with full presence. Affirm it. Celebrate it. You might reply with, "That's amazing. What inspired you to chase that dream?" That simple, sincere exchange builds more depth than any flurry of shallow compliments ever could. The woman who knows how to speak to a man's heart never needs to compete for his attention. She already has it. Now, let's move to the third message. Ignite his imagination. If you can lead him into a shared mental adventure, you're already stirring deeper emotional currents. Ever had a conversation that echoed in your mind for days, that made you smile out of nowhere? That's the magic of words. Jung saw imagination as a gateway to the unconscious, the very realm where true longing is born. A message that taps into that could be, "Good morning." If you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you be? Instantly, his mind travels. Maybe he sees a remote island, a city he's always wanted to explore, or an exciting experience. And you become part of that internal journey. Why does it matter? Because the emotion he feels while visualizing that moment becomes connected to you. And once a memory or fantasy is emotionally linked to someone, that bond becomes unforgettable. Now for the key, don't let the moment end. Keep building. If he says Paris, don't reply with a simple nice. Instead, go deeper. I can picture you walking through Montmartre with a warm espresso in hand. Are you into French culture? You're not just keeping the conversation alive, you're enriching it, anchoring yourself in that imagined reality. And that, my dear, is the difference between being another casual message and becoming the woman he finds himself thinking about long after the conversation ends. Let's continue with the fourth message, the one that sparks intrigue. Curiosity is a powerful emotional magnet. Once you awaken it, he'll keep thinking about you far more than you might expect. You know that feeling when someone says, "We need to talk," and suddenly your mind races through every possibility. That's the effect you want to replicate, but in a warm, captivating way. Try something like, "Good morning. I just remembered something that made me see you in a new light." Just like that, you've planted a question in his mind. What was it? What changed? What does she mean? Was it something sweet, surprising, meaningful? Carl Jung talked about the collective unconscious, a shared emotional and symbolic space all humans tap into. This kind of message draws directly from that well. It stirs anticipation, presenting a narrative that's unfinished, and the mind naturally wants to finish it. But here's the secret. Don't reveal too much too quickly. Keep a touch of suspense. You can say something like, "I can't tell you just yet, but trust me, you'll want to hear this." That tension, that build-up, creates emotional pull. And when it comes to attraction, that sense of waiting, of wanting to know more, is incredibly powerful. Have you ever been left hanging by a message that teased something just out of reach? That lingering curiosity, that craving for closure, that's what sustains desire. It's the unseen that captivates. As Jung noted, symbols and mysteries speak more profoundly to the unconscious than what's plainly stated. Another great message to trigger this effect. "Good morning. Something wild happened last night, and it made me think of you. I'll fill you in later." Right away, he's hooked. What happened? Why did it remind her of me? Was it exciting, emotional, romantic? You're offering a glimpse but not the full picture, and that's exactly what makes it compelling. This kind of message opens a mental loop, one that he won't be able to close until you let him. Like a melody that stops just before the final note, his mind will keep playing it, looking for completion. Don't rush to explain everything. When he asks, offer something like, "I'm still deciding if I should tell you, but it really made me smile." That small tease keeps the emotional tension alive and deepens the impact. As Jung taught, what stays hidden in the unconscious becomes more potent over time. And the one who manages the rhythm of the exchange controls the emotional momentum. Now let's turn to the fifth message, the one that brings emotions back through nostalgia. The past when approached with care, holds remarkable emotional power. Think about how a single song can instantly bring back every emotion you once felt with someone. Memories have flavor, scent, and atmosphere, and just one tiny detail can unlock the floodgates of it all. Epictetus once said it's not the event itself, but how we remember it that shapes our inner world. Jung expanded on this idea, noting that we carry emotional symbols from the past, images, feelings, moments that define us quietly. If you can guide him into re-experiencing a joyful memory with you, real or imagined, you create a lasting emotional imprint. Try something like, "Good morning. I was thinking about that afternoon we spent at the park. It felt really special. What if we made it happen again?" This kind of message accomplishes two things at once. It taps into nostalgia by recalling a joyful moment that reignites that emotional state, and it builds anticipation by gently suggesting a meaningful experience in the future. And don't worry if you haven't built a memory together yet. You can paint one with words that feels just as real. If you've ever talked about the ocean, you could say, "I imagined myself walking by the shore at sunset this morning, waves crashing gently, warm wind on my face, and somehow, you were right there." Would you ever want that moment to become real? You're not just creating a connection, you're placing yourself inside his emotional landscape, even before anything has happened. Because often, what we feel leaves more impact than what we've actually lived. Now let's look at the sixth message, the kind of compliment that truly sticks with him. This isn't about surface-level flattery. It's about making him feel one of a kind. A genuine compliment is like a carefully chosen gift. It's meaningful because it reflects how well you see him. Think of it like this. Anyone can hand you a gift card, but the person who brings you that one thing they knew would speak to your heart. That's unforgettable. Compliments work the same way. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that all humans crave recognition but rarely experience it in a meaningful form. If you can offer that kind of heartfelt attention, you instantly stand apart. Here's a message that does just that. "Good morning. You know what I really admire about you? The way you always manage to find humor in everything. It's infectious." Code. This message hits the mark on three fronts. First, it's personal, you're pointing out something unique and authentic. Second, it's heartfelt, he'll know you're genuinely observing who he is. And third, it creates emotional recall. The next time he laughs, he'll think of you. And here's one final reminder. Steer clear of generic praise like, "You're the best guy ever." It can sound hollow, or worse, needy. Instead, focus on something he does naturally, something subtle that makes you smile even if he doesn't realize he's doing it. That's how you create emotional resonance. Maybe it's the way he laughs, the passion in his voice when he talks about what excites him, or how focused he becomes when something truly matters. When you offer a sincere compliment, you create an emotional signature, and the woman who leaves an emotional signature is the one he can't forget. Have you ever observed the way he gestures with his hands when he's excited, or how his face lights up when he dives into a topic he cares about? Those subtle things, the ones that often go unnoticed, reveal his core. And when you point them out, everything shifts. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel seen. If he senses that you genuinely recognize something in him that most people overlook, he'll remember you every time he does it again. Carl Jung believed that all of us carry a deep, often hidden need to be fully seen, not just for what we show the world, but for who we are underneath it all. And the person who sees us like that, they become unforgettable. Now we've reached the seventh and final message, and it might be the most impactful. It's the message that creates emotional anticipation. Anticipation, after all, is one of desire's strongest forces. Have you ever looked forward to something so much that it lingered in your thoughts all day? Maybe a date, a thoughtful gift, or a meaningful get-together. That waiting period, filled with emotional buildup, transforms even simple things into something unforgettable. Picture this. You're sitting in your favorite restaurant, ready for the dish you love most. But instead of bringing it immediately, the waiter leans in and says, "Today, we've got something special just for you, but it's a surprise." That pause doesn't frustrate you, it fuels excitement. The more you long for something, the more value it holds when it finally arrives. Seneca once said that what comes too easily often goes unappreciated. Jung echoed that, emphasizing how what remains hidden and mysterious speaks directly to our unconscious minds. That's why, if you can ignite a sense of anticipation in him waiting for a detail, a story, or a small surprise from you, you'll capture his attention more deeply than with any straightforward message. Want an example? Try something like, "Good morning. I've got a surprise for you and I can't wait to see your face when you find out." This simple sentence triggers three powerful emotional responses. First, it stirs instant curiosity. He'll be eager to know what you're planning. Second, It keeps you present in his mind throughout the day, encouraging him to imagine what it could be. And third, it puts you in control of the emotional rhythm he's now waiting for, something only you can reveal in your own time. And here's something most people miss. The surprise doesn't need to be big. It doesn't have to be lavish or extravagant. Often, it's the small, thoughtful gestures that leave the deepest impression. It might be a picture that ties back to an inside joke, a song that reflects a shared moment, a heartfelt message, or even his favorite coffee delivered unexpectedly. What matters isn't the scale, it's the meaning behind it.